So I guess this will be like a money part 3, and I'm gonna kind of wing this rather than, so it might be a little long-winded. I was thinking about the aspect that marijuana, for example, and I wonder how many of you are actually turning off the video right now because I just said the word marijuana. But hear me out. So, regardless of your point of view on marijuana, it's an industry, and as a baker, one of the first things you might think of is like, oh, if it just got legalized. So marijuana, like in Arizona, got approved to become legal. It's going to be taxed like no other and regulated like no other. Personally, don't agree with the regulations and taxes, but that's for another time. But marijuana has become legal. So I'm a baker, so I can make a lot of money on this, and therefore I should probably start making those specialty brownies that we always hear about. And oh, what if I could put it in cakes? What more can I do with it? Well, that's a great feeling, and the whole feeling that you're having right now is based on the idea that you can make a lot of money on an industry that's being allowed for the first time in many, many decades. And so if you just get onto it now, you can make tons and tons of money. And how great would that be? And it won't have to do as much work, because the money coming in is going to be it's going to be more because you can charge more. I'm going to stop you there and say, why are you in the bakery business? Remember from the other 2 videos, the focus was on your happiness. So what is going to fulfill you the most? For the investor, it's demonstrating to himself that he can pick the right bakeries to invest in and get the best return possible. So the monetary value was one of the barometers of his success. For the cake artist, the other end of the spectrum, her focus was the most beautiful cake possible. She's going to demand a very high price for her production, but she wants to produce something beautiful. Or it's the brownie maker who's produced a delicious brownie. No, she can't charge $30,000 for it, but she can easily charge $5 because it's her recipe, it's her creation. She wants to feel that what she gets in return for selling it is something that's going to make her feel confident to do it more and more and perfect it even better. But what happens when something like this marijuana thing gets tossed in the weeds? Or in the weeds, but in the mix of things, where there is potential to make a lot of money, and you just have to do the same thing. You're just adding another ingredient. At face value, it sounds nice. It sounds like, yes, let's do that. And if you're going to do it, you are probably for marijuana. Now, I don't want to put this in 2 different categories. You're for or anti marijuana, but rather in the aspect that you're for placing yourself into that industry. And if it's just at face value, it just simply means you don't understand the market yet. You don't know what it's going to be. You haven't researched it yet. You don't know if it's going to be a potential huge win or a bust by the tons of money you invest into doing it, because you assume you're going to make a lot of money out of it almost instantaneously. And I am going to stress, go back to why you are in the bakery business in the first place. And if an important thing is to be able to dominate the market by producing all sorts of different treats, where there isn't a coherent focus, but rather than the focus being just producing a lot of different treats, yeah, go ahead and add marijuana. At this point, you don't really have a focus. You don't really understand the market, because you're producing anything and everything underneath the sun, as long as you can bake it. But if you are a baker who has a passion, has a focus, passion word, buzzword, passion, you have to be passionate about it, you know what I'm saying? But no. if you're a baker who understands what it is that you value most out of what you do, whether it's the production, whether it's the monetary gain, whether it's the strategy, whatever it is that is the primary, that needs to be the focus. It is the one thing that you will absolutely invest your time and effort in understanding better so you can be more efficient and more successful. For me, for example, one of the things that I do is I like to research how other businesses, not just bakery businesses, and most of the time not even bakery businesses, are finding ways to become successful. What little tips and tricks that they've done that I might be able to incorporate into my bakery to make it more successful. When I find those, I like to test them and see if those are going to work. I like to see if there's a monetary gain, which is, for me, in part a barometer of success. If we're getting more orders coming in, that's a barometer of success. So I have different matrix going on that shows me whether or not I'm doing well. Now, for the cake artist, it's, can she produce a more beautiful piece of art? For the brownie recipe girl who is just producing tons and tons of brownies, can she improve on the ingredients or the recipe in just some minor way? Can she offer it to a different part of the market so that she can start seeing more orders come in, so that she can continuously produce more higher quality brownies? Is it the investor who wants to find the best possible bakery to invest in and looks for new, unique aspects of successful bakeries and adds those as points to reference before committing to an investment? Now, let's say you're just getting started. You're just getting started in the bakery business and money is basically zip. Nothing really, there's nothing coming in. It's just what you have in your pocket at the moment. You may be tempted to do the marijuana thing. And if that really was your end goal in the first place, was to start researching it in hopes that someday it becomes legal, then yes, that is your market. Go down it. Take it full swing. Become an expert in how to infuse marijuana into a baked good, and do it in a way that perhaps in one aspect is safe for everybody. In another aspect gives you the hint that there is something there, and then perhaps there is different levels of strength, or you find different ways to use it to become successful. Or you're just getting started and you see that that's a potential opportunity. Is that the opportunity that you would value? You personally would feel fulfilled by going down that path. Now, if you were someone who was, I'm not going to say anti-marijuana, instead I'm going to say you're someone who is concerned that you don't understand the business enough to really commit to it, and that is an obvious issue and it bugs you. Or two, is you're very much attuned to how your community will react. Really, your community, I mean, you're going to have to decide if that community knows you and cares and actually are people who you want to associate with. If you don't even know them, why are you worried about the community in the first place? 3 is it's against your principles. Even though you could be fine with others utilizing it, having it, it's against your principles. Then why on earth would you get into the business in the first place? It's not going to bring you happiness. But if it is something that's going to bring you happiness from the production that you do, then go for it. So again, a big possible huge monetary gain from a market that just got legalized, or something new just came into the market that was legal, had no legal foundation, comes to the market, you have to go back to your roots and ask, is this something that I will value, that I want to see in my bakery business? And if it is, and it's most definitely is, then go forward with it and take it on in full swing. If it isn't, and you're concerned about it, steer away from it. So, Silver Rose Bakery, where does that stand on the whole marijuana thing? As far as, will it produce marijuana baked goods? And, my answer is no. Neither I nor Priscilla want to pursue that avenue. Priscilla's is definitely more down the aspect of it's a drug, and we don't want to offer a drug, whether it's legal or illegal, into our ingredients. It's just not of value. It's not of interest. So in my perspective, a little bit different. It's much more, I don't value it. I don't see the benefit in it. I don't know enough about the market to even give it consideration. I'm fine if people want to smoke marijuana, if they want to make paper with the from it. Because apparently it used to be a huge rope and paper industry through the marijuana plant and similar plants. So I don't see the value in it. I don't see the benefit in it. I don't know enough about it. I don't want to pursue it because I don't know enough about it. And I have not seen any kind of push that would entice me to go down that road and want to pursue it. Is there potential to gain a lot of money? Yeah, there is. But I don't understand it enough to even give it a consideration, to give it a moment of thought. So it's easier for me just to strike it from the list of considerations. And that, honestly, is probably the best way to look at it. So as far as money goes, especially if you're getting started in the business, determine what it is that you want to produce. I'll bring you the most fulfillment, why you're going to fulfill it. And in this case, if marijuana is a go for it. If it's not, don't go for it. And make sure you're basing these on rational, self-interested values that'll bring you the most happiness in life. And I'm willing to bet right now that money is not going to be the best one unless you're an investor. So until next time, Michael Sweet Journal. Take care, guys.